It is now time for the Morning Gardener Show. Hello, how you doing, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? I am here again to talk gardening. And today I'm talking about weeds, all the precious resource of weeds. What would we do if we ran out of weeds in our gardens? Whatever would we do? I know I would be in trouble because my whole show is set up primarily on saving weeds. Weeds are really good stuff to use in the garden. Um, I simply chop and drop it. It's easier than making compost. It's easier than going to the store and buying a bunch of stuff you don't need. So I use chop and drop to do what I got to do. So that's what I do. Weeds, chop and drop them. And they come up everywhere. So I said, wait a minute, what can I do here? Now I could put a tarp on the ground during the cooler months and let it sit there for months and kill back a lot of the weeds. I mean, take out a lot of them. And have to buy an expensive tarp that would cover a large portion of my garden. But I could also just simply use the weeds as fertilizer. You see, because they're made of organic matter, and when they rot, they go back into the ground. And the biology feeds those weeds to your plants. Also, you can use them as mulch. You have to chop them down. You can put them around your plants and use them to keep the hot summer at bay, and also they'll feed your plants. So it's a win-win. Just got to know what to do with them. With them. Yes, the value of weeds. I'm just looking at things to come. Got fertilizer all over the house, different bags, and I don't want to open up too many bags because I have lots of bags of fertilizer. And I have to get some nice gloves this year to pull weeds. Maybe someone could recommend some for me. The only problem I have is my hands are kind of big, and so that being said, it's harder to find gloves. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Um, I am looking for I'm looking for a big, sturdy pair of gloves like a farmer would wear. Wait a minute, Farmer Supply. I think call it what they call Farmer Supply stores. I could check there because I'm tired of buying gloves from Walmart and Home Depot, and I don't get what I want. They got a bunch of gloves. Oh, plus I bought a pair of rubber gloves. I like those now. I like those. I got them in Home Depot. No, no, no. Lowe's, I believe. Yeah. And those gloves work really well. But I want to be able to pull some weeds this year and lay them down around plants, lay them down where they grow at, just leave them. Weeds, wonderful, wonderful fertilizer because weeds have the ability to go down deep, pull up valuable minerals from the ground, pull it up into their stems and leaves, and basically it's stored food for your plants. I look at it differently now. I just look at weeds differently now. I used to see people bag them up and throw them away, or like they were toxic, you know, uh, material. I don't do that. I don't do that. What I do with weeds is pull them up. Well, in the beginning, I was pulling them up and just laying them down, pulling them up, and laying them down, and it was actually fun because you lay the root side up in the sun, and the sun basically kills the weed, and then it turns into this gray, excuse me, brown, basically organic material that looks like hay, and so um, it was creating a beautiful organic food for my garden. And that's all I was doing. So when I go out in the yard, I view it like this. I'm going out there to feed the soil biology in my soil. That's what the weeds are to me. They're food. Um, if you will, the biology in the soil is cows, sheep, and horses, basically, where I see it. And I pull these weeds up and I lay them down. And when I lay them down, the sun kills them and the biology eats them. So I feel like if I don't feed the biology in the soil, the biology is going to go down, which will cause me problems in the future. I can't get enough of your love, baby. What can I say? What am I going to do? How should I feel when everything is you? What kind of love is this that you're giving me? Is it in your kiss? Just because you're sweet, baby. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm so excited. I don't want to get on the phone with Walmart this early in the year and ask them about seeds because I did it yesterday, the day before that. No one answers. No one gets on the phone. Um, I'm trying to get the 50-cent seeds at Walmart as soon as they come out because I want a good selection to pick from. Some people go in and they'll grab a handful of, let's say, bell peppers, uh, what they call it, California Wonder. They'll grab all those because they know they're hot sellers and they can put them on eBay and sell them. I don't want to do that. I just want the seeds. I want to get like 2 packs of them. That's all I want is about 2 packs of each item that I'm looking for. What you're giving me, is it in your kiss? Just because you're sweet, baby. All right, folks. What are we talking about? Is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything at all? Anything at all that you would like to add that would add to the conversation? Anything at all? And we got another thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate the thumbs up. That let me know that they're out there, they're listening, and when it comes to gardening, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? How are you today? We're just talking about we're just talking about compost. Good subject. Chop and drop. Make that make that compost. It's just cheaper. It's better. And everyone I'm finding out has weeds. So I'm great. And you, I'm doing pretty good. As the gardening season is coming up in another 4 months, I have everything I need pretty much. Um, I have everything I pretty much need. It's just looking good. And one thing I want to add is I need some heavy gloves that will fit these hands. And and once I get the gloves, because I'm guilty of always working in the garden and not wearing gloves, and it was an older lady that said to me one day, she said, you better be careful reaching in that grass like that and those weeds, because you never know what these weeds may have, and you go rub your eye or something like that, you'd be in trouble. Now, this is something I should have known after 20 years of gardening, but I always would take my chances. I mean, the big spiders in the ground and running around and huge, I could get bit by one of those. That used to be my main fear, was one of the spiders. But never did buy gloves. Now this year, make it a promise, I will have gloves on because I want to be safe about it, and pulling up those weeds with gloves on is just a safer deal. I pull them up, I lay them sideways down, and let the sun do the rest. I go to the next plant, pull it up, I lay it down, and let the sun do the rest. Now, if I need some mulch, I'll pull it up, lay it down around certain plants that I want the sun to stop beating up the ground. Um, and I try to always start pulling my weeds up from around my plants, like about 15 inches back from my plants, so that they don't have too much of the vicious competition. I have to make a difference to wear gloves also. Okay, okay, great, great. I'm not the only one. I just want to know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one, because that's, just the gloves. Just put them on, and I'm saying I would be safer out there, and it would just be a better deal. Um, I went out in my yard yesterday, and I put a video up. I don't know if any of you saw it, but it's oh my god, that video is long. I looked at it, I couldn't believe how long it is. I got one scene in the video where I'm not washing, feeding my plants a liquid uh, fertilizer, which is made from fish emulsion, which is good stuff. And I said, well, and it's just long. It's just really long. I had no idea it was that long. It was that long. I mean, my God, it was like if I was watching it on, oh. But my favorite scene in the video is the compost pile. I love it. I love it when I see what compost looks like when it's perfectly been aged. You put and what I put in the compost pile, most people won't put in the compost pile. I grab um, tree limbs, branches. I grab all this stuff and put in there. Weeds, uh, grass clipping, leaves, whatever. It goes in there. And if I have a number of paper bills that I've already paid, I will tear the plastic away from the paper, and I'll put the paper down in there. It gives me some satisfaction that even my bill company uh, contribute to my garden. So the paper that they send, I put into the compost pile, in turn recycling. Can I get an amen? Amen. And so that's what I do. So um, the the compost pile was just pretty, folks. I mean, it had roots in it. It had roots in it. Because what I did, I took a shovel out there yesterday. Uh, thank you. And what happened was I chopped through it with the shovel. I was chopped through it with the shovel because it was all grown over with all kind of weeds and everything. And one thing weeds do when they invite themselves into my compost pile is they save me the time for bringing them over there. So that's how I look at it. And so I tear the roots apart and everything, and I leave it right there in the compost pile. Now I have one large compost pile you see over in the corner. Dang on it, my neighbor gave me that wood that goes in that compost pile just before he passed away. He gave it to me. I called him up and I said, "Listen, hey, how you doing?" The wood that you cut out of your tree, what are you going to do with it? He said, you can have it. And I went over there and I got it and stacked it in the back. I was going to use it for braces for my plants at first, and then I said, no, no, I want to make compost out of it to let everyone see that you can use big material and make compost out of it. That's why I brought it over there. And so I put down all this wood. Then I took all my older compost and put over top of it and left it. Then left it. That's how I do it. I'm not going to make anything complicated. I left it. I left it right there on top of the compost pile. Thank you for the thumbs up. Got 4 thumbs up, folks. Believe it or not, 4. I'm on top of the world. And so what happened was, we poured all that beautiful compost on there, the weeds that were in it, everything went over on top of that wood. Um, it just went over there because I mean the compost pile was all over the place, and I started. It took a couple of days. I took my time and and put the compost over the top of the wood. I mean the wood was just laid as neat as I could lay it, and I didn't do all that over. Well, we'll put it in this layer, and then we'll do this layer, and then this layer. I didn't do any of that. I just said, pile up the wood over there, put the compost on top of it, and the weeds or whatever else was in the compost pile, piled it up over there, left it, just left it. And in fact, uh, I stuck a few seeds in it and grew some cucumbers while it was being produced. So, K Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be. That's what I did. I put them right in there. So it was a beautiful thing. So now the wood is breaking down. So I said all that to say this is special compost because he gave it to me, and so I will use it to grow food. Gardening is so simple. See that? This young lady said it right there, and I'm glad that people are taking that attitude because that's what it is. Only people make gardening difficult are people who really don't want you to garden, and those who want you to pay them money for information you already had. I'm gonna give you a good example. There is a person on YouTube, and I watched one of his videos. He called Giant Growers something. Anyway, he grows these giant pumpkins, and then when he does, the giant pumpkins are huge. Okay, so they're huge. You use certain drugs to pump them up and everything. He even tell you in his videos, you can't eat these pumpkins. These pumpkins, you can't eat them. So he says, listen, if you go to my Facebook page, give me $90, go to my Facebook page, I will give you a certain code where you can get in. He said, you will not find the page any other kind of way. You will not find it. He said, so $90, I go in and I will teach you the secrets. The secrets of growing giant pumpkins. Now, me being a person that likes to think things through, and that's just what I do, I said, wait a minute. How could anyone keep a gardening secret in this day and age when all you would need is just one person to go there, look at the page, and bring the information back and put it on YouTube? Come on now. Come on now. Think about that for a second. And so when I see him do that, and it made me think, I said, what do you mean there's people out there still today, they're trying to hide gardening secrets? Yes, they are. They're out here trying to hide certain things they know that they have seen done with the family or a professional arborist or a professional farmer has learned, and they're not sharing that information. Morning, gardener and chat. Oh, hello, 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 hello. Good morning, morning, gardener and chat. Okay, that's the first time I heard it put that way before, and chat. But I will say this, folks. There are no secrets. I'm gonna tell you right straightforward. There are no daggone secrets. Everybody know that the best fertilizer on earth is wait a minute, man, let me stop. The best fertilizer on earth is Compost. That's simple. And they're selling people bags of worm poo in a bag. When in reality, here's the reality of it, folks. When you put a compost pile up outside, worms visit those compost piles all through the night. Sometimes they live in the compost pile. They actually live in there. I had night crawlers all through my compost pile so big you couldn't even put them on a fish hook. That's how big they were. When compost is set up and they crawl all through, worms poo, reproduce, live, and eat all through your compost pile all year long, all the years that you leave this out there. Absolutely. Oh, I'm glad you didn't watch that video because he does tomatoes is what he does. He does tomatoes, and he's from Africa, and he does tomatoes, and he lives by that. I've never seen him grow anything else. I just see him do tomatoes. He is the person who you would want to go look and say, okay, how do I grow a tomato? He's the guy. There's no need in going anywhere else. He's the guy. Okay. Morning for horns. Four horns. Okay, four horns. Uh, Folks, grow soil. That's simple. When you're thinking of gardening, don't do it the backwards way. A lot of people go. Let me see what we got here. We got Okay, I got this right here. We got a situation where we've been taught the wrong stuff when it comes to gardening. A lot of us have been taught the wrong stuff. I've purchased books and got them and started from page one and read it and it was just wrong. It talked about things like what it said fertilizer use 10-10-10. I remember that. I remember that distinctively. And I remember I saw, images and it talked about tilling the soil up and how deep to till the soil up. And today, that's not all that popular option is to till your soil. Farmers that even still till today, a lot of them will go lightly over the top. They won't go deep, they'll go light just to skim off the weeds that are on top. And that's questionable. Um, but my point being this the crop debris or materials that are left on the ground when they strip out a whole bunch of corn, they leave that stuff there now because they realize it's what fertilizer. Because they used to tear it all and dig it all back in and everything, strip it away, and they thought it didn't make the ground look neat, it wasn't pretty, and so they stripped it away and they didn't know, they just didn't know. Now that's a valuable material. They now do a lot of multi combination cover crops, and cover crop is just a fancy way of saying a whole bunch of different type of plants. And these plants are put on the tops of the soil to grow, 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 and then to be chopped and dropped down. So that all they have is the top parts, which is all that nitrogen and biomass, and then the roots that are left in the ground will some will die, opening up billions and billions of different channels throughout the top part of the soil. That being said, it will also add compost. Now, all the material that you chopped up, when it rains, it will add lots of what? Say it for me, folks. Somebody say it. When the rain hits it, when the rain hits it, it becomes compost tea. That's what it becomes. Compost tea. So you getting a win, 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 win when you do it that way. Now, I'm doing this a smaller version of it. It's called chop and drop. I'm using weeds instead of these multi um, uh, plant groups that they come up with rye and all this stuff they put it in. And they put all this in there and then they chop it all up. But my point being this, oh, thank you for the thumbs up. 9 of them. I mean, every person in this room has given me my props. Thank you. Thank you. So that's what you're facing is that you're either going to feed the soil or you're not going to grow a lot. You'll get hit and misses when you're growing it. You'll get that. You'll get a pepper plant with 3 peppers on it. Over here, you'll get some potatoes, but they'll be about this big when you grow them. And it's because your soil really can't support that crop. It just can't do it. It says, look, I'm tired. I don't have enough energy to do this. And there's not enough biology in the soil to do this. But you'll say, I keep putting fertilizer in. I keep watering it at the right time. It says water every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. Excuse me, feed it every 3 weeks. And it says also water once a week. I'm doing all of that, like it says on the pack. But the thing that people keep neglecting to look at is the soil. The medium that you put it in is weak, it's soft, it's poor. Uh, uh, your soil doesn't have what it takes. And a lot of us, we buy these houses and we go in the back and we go, okay, I'm gonna turn this into a garden. When they put their house on the ground there, what the first thing they did was strip off all of the beautiful soil in that area. And they took that somewhere and sold it. But they put enough of the right materials down so that you could grow grass in that area, you know. And but if you got a house that's 100 years old, you know what I mean, with all that soil that came back over the years from leaves dropping on it and that sort of thing, and then you got people who every year take their leaves and throw their leaves away. Good morning, good morning, good morning. They throw away their leaves. That's what they do. And I used to do it. I was guilty of it too. I did it for maybe 2 years. Now I go out and I'll take leaves. You can bring them to me. There should be a guy that used to bring 800, 900 pounds of leaves to me every year. He was a landscaper. And I even worked for a company that used to, and I said, when I saw them collecting the leaves, I said, what are you collecting all those leaves for? And he said, it's like, look at me. Then he answered. He said, fertilizer. So they collect the leaves. Okay, they collect the leaves off their customers' property. They take them in a large area and they dump them with the huge trucks they have. Dump them, and they just leave them there. And when it creates all this perfect black soil, give me a minute, folks. Beautiful black soil. They take that back out of there and they sell it to their customers to improve their grass, to improve their trees. They sell it back to them. When they do a fertilizing service, they sell it back to them. Now you tell me that's not slick. You're going to take their leaves, pile it up for about a year, to come back to their property in the spring. You move the piles around, you know what's cooked and what's not cooked, and then you sell it back to them. That's slick for massive amount of dollars. Because these people have like 20 acres or whatever, and they need all the grass done, and they need the trees fertilized over again, and they need done yesterday, and they don't care what it costs. Those type of companies, and that's how I work for them. And when I worked for them, I saw that I couldn't even get one leaf from them. They wouldn't sell me. No, they wouldn't give me any leaves. So I got smart. I said, wait a minute. They're getting them from their customers during the fall. Huge. I mean, I'm talking huge amounts of leaves. And you go inside of a holding area, like a big farm with a big, huge piles of them, just different locations. Bulldozer back there, just moving the stuff around where they say this is cooked, that's not. Let's turn this. Okay, we got that. And that's how they were doing it. So what I did, I started going, to my neighbors and getting their leaves. And it was kind of risky because, you out at nighttime, you a brother out there collecting people leaves at night, you liable to get shot. So I didn't know. I didn't, wasn't thinking. So I got all these leaves, and one guy had 40 bags out, and I collected all this stuff and made multiple trips. And he might have been looking out in the window and said, "Honey, call the police. I don't know what's going on out there. It's this guy, and he's putting them in his car, and So I was collecting. So I got him there, and I didn't know how to put him down when I first got him. Even any of the information I was reading was making it complicated. And I just said, "To hell with this." I put it all down about 2.5, 3 feet deep throughout the garden, and it started to sink as the year went on. When the rain hit it, when the snow hit it, it was beautiful. In comes spring and summer, and it was down to about 6, 7 inches. All that material, and I remember being taught not to incorporate this in the soil. Do not dig it in. Just leave it on top. And I'm gonna tell you, when I left it on top, biggest, prettiest pieces of corn, sweetest tomatoes. I was like, so that's the secret. And I understood that was the only secret is nature will take care of itself. My garden, I found out, actually has all the materials. If I didn't want to buy anything at all, has all the materials that I actually need is right there. All I got to do is wait for the weeds to pop out in the spring. That's it. That's my fertilizer. The branches that die from certain trees, cut those off, cut them up, and put them around the base of your fruit tree. That's all the carbon that the tree needs. Because plants eat plants, whether we like it or not. That's all they eat is plants and any other living matter that used to have a parent or whatever. It does not matter. Welcome to 2022. I was the first live stream garden show for 2020. Yay! I was the first one. I came home, didn't even know I was the first one. I just came on and got online. And then I looked and said, wait a minute, I have hundreds of people in my, what they call it, when you subscribe to them. And no one had anything up. No one had anything up. They were late on that day, but I got off early in the morning when I got off of work 2020, and I was right online. I went out, I bought, I guess about $60 worth of fertilizer. And I'm gonna tell you something, marked all the way down, folks. Marked all the way down. See, I like to get a bargain. I mean, I just do. These are high quality fertilizers, and I get them because what the hell? I said they're $2 a bag, marked down from $8 a bag. I got them. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I got the huge, big bags that were $12, close to $13 a bag. Got them. They were $3 a bag. Yes, I got them. And the only problem I'm having right now, I loaded the car up yesterday. I put the videos up showing how much is in the car. I did the same thing Monday past. I hit them, and to come back on Wednesday, I hit them again, and I can't go back to that store, which is Home Depot. It's the only one doing that, folks. They're the only ones doing it I know of. I'm not answering that phone. I hate them telemarketers. Put the phone right there. Let it ring. Let's see. Where were we? And so yeah, I bought a $2 a bag from $8, $14 to $3 a bag. Yeah, I bought that stuff, and I would tell anyone go out and get their stuff from Home Depot. Yes, look in two areas. Look in their clearance area because they got a clearance area, and then go to another area, what they call their fertilizer section, and just go grab everything you can. And I was already prepared financially to do this. Who is the African man who just grew that just grew tomatoes? Oh God, I wish I knew his name. God, I wish I knew his name. I don't know his name. But he is the guy. All you gotta do is type in let's see, how would I do it? Tomato grower or something. And you'll see him pop up. You say, hello, how are you doing? You hear that voice, you say, that's gotta be him. Let's see. If someone here in the room might actually know his name. Let's see. So here's what the deal is, folks. Um, a deal I'll jump on. I will jump on a deal. And I did. I don't know where to store all this fertilizer that I have here in the house. I don't know where to store it all. I got it on shelves. I got it stacked just like it was at the store. Um, I got them labels facing forward. Uh, it's God. I don't know how many pounds I got back there, but I can't go back to the store because I know if I go back, because I cleared out 3 shelves last night, yesterday. I cleared out 3 shelves. That's a lot of bags. Um, and then what I do? Oh yeah. So anyway, I don't want to go back because I'll wind up buying some more, and that's why I don't want to go back. Because if I go back, even today, if I went back today and they had 3 shelves on there marked down to $1.95 from $10, you know, I'm gonna look at it and go, God darn it, I can't do this, and I'm gonna clear the shelves out. And when I clear the shelves out, I'm gonna say, look, you know this is crazy because you can't use all this fertilizer. You can't use it. There's nothing you can do. You can't use this. In 5 years, you can't use this. But I got this strange feeling that we better learn how to grow our own food or something's going to get medieval. And you know what I'm talking about. Our government is completely dysfunctional. I'm not blaming one or the other. They messed up. It's like going to a family reunion where over this side of the yard, they sit over there because they don't get along with the other family members that sit on that side of the yard. They don't want to talk to each other. And they have learned to become professionals that do not agree with anything. It used to be honor and respect came with being able to resolve your issues, but no more. They just want to be the honor, the people that can say, I'm not going to agree with you, and I don't like you. And then they start labeling each other. They call each other Democrat and Republican. And when they do that, they stop looking at each other as human beings, brothers and sisters. They stop. They start just looking at each other as adversaries. This football team against this football team. That sort of deal. So I don't listen to none of them anymore. I don't listen to none of them because they don't know what they're doing. And we about to go to war with a country like North Korea, it looks like. And you know what? We can't even agree on that. And then we got people that are running it that just won't talk to each other. So that's messed up. A lot of this could be resolved. So that being said, I have um Lowe's Home Depot just started carrying what they call this stuff here. Earthworm castings. They just started carrying that. Let me tell you some all the stuff you got up there. You put up there. You got up there. Bone meal, ash, rock dust. I don't know why you're using rock dust. I have no idea, but you must know something. Let's see, and earthworm castings. Here's another one you got up there. Earthworms. I don't know why you need that because I mean, all you got to do is just put the material together. The earthworms will come, and they're gonna rifle through everything, and they're gonna leave. earthworm castings all in your compost. So that's something I would not buy. Um, bone meal, bone meal, blood meal. So you're looking for nitrogen. Let's see. Yeah, but this was it, ash. Yeah, you don't buy no ash. You get that. You get that. Putting a couple of trees together and burning them down. I guess in a pile and create ash or whatever. And just find out if you need ash first, because sometimes some people don't need ash. Um, rock dust. My goodness, they're still getting people on that. You got plenty of rocks in the soil. The worms suck off of them, and then they deposit that everywhere when they drop their feces. They put rock dust throughout the soil for years. That's what worms do. And somebody come up with an idea of crushing it up and then putting it in bags and selling it to people. That's stealing legally online. That's what it is. And that's what they do. Somebody typed Trump 22, whatever. This year, they put Trump to something like that. I don't agree with none of them. I think all of them crazy as hell. I'm just going to say it like it is. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Rock dust has twice the minerals. I'm not going to get into a long conversation with that. I appreciate what you said and I respect you. But I know that trees and grass and plants have been growing here long before a company decided to put grounded up rocks in a bag. And there are minerals in the soil that your weeds bring to the surface, been doing it for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and also your earthworms have been bringing it to the surface and moving it around for thousands of years. No one on earth needs to buy dust in a bag to grow their plants, regardless of what they may say. They'll say anything. These people are selling that stuff, and they're not going to stop selling it because it's money in it. I'll give you a good example. I remember seeing some of the videos where people were digging holes and they were putting cow manure or horse manure or whatever inside the ground and then putting the plant on top of it. And I looked at that and said, that don't make sense. That's the opposite way that nature does it. Nature puts the cow manure on top of the ground so that it falls through the ground onto your roots. Why would you put it at the bottom of the hole? It's going to just keep falling away from your plant because that's what gravity does. And I'm just thinking, why would you? But that's what we're taught. We're also taught to fertilize our gardens and our farms in the spring and summer. We're taught to do that. Incorrect. The ground is better when it's fertilized in the fall and winter. Because that's what nature's been doing it for millions of years. And we learn this stuff and we just keep repeating it, repeating it because that's what we're taught. And there are millions of books out there that are completely incorrect, and they just keep selling the books because people want to desperately have that number one farm, or they want that number one garden, and they do things, you know. But some of the greatest farms in the world was when man basically left them alone and let nature do what it does, which it'll repair its ground over time. It'll repair it. The reason why we sometimes get lots of weeds because Mother Nature put them there for a reason. These weeds are there to repair damaged soil, um, and to also cover the ground. People are still today even tilling the ground, tilling the hell out of it, strip it apart, everything, and then they put all this fertilizer down, and then they put all this man-made water on top of it that's filled with chemicals to treat living animals that are in the water. I mean, we got that every day in the inner cities, and it also, just you need to think about it and say, okay, what does this water do? It's designed to kill bacteria. Okay, there's chemicals in it to kill bacteria. Why would I put that on my soil? Why would I put that in my soil? If it's the only option you think you have, it's not true. Rain barrels rule that out. You can get rain barrels that are 1,200 gallons each if you have the money. And when you get it, you can actually get a pump and hook up to it and water your crop all year long if you have a farm. You get two or three of them if you want to. Some people put them in ground and some on top so that they have more room to do what they need to do. And when they do this, you have water. You've got water. And the water is suited for the plants that you're growing, not man-made chemicals you pumping on the ground. And the fertilizers, which is man-made fertilizer, when you start buying that those 15, or whatever. I mean, and Lord knows when they start slinging that cow manure around, all you want to do is make sure you get it from the right cows, that you're not feeding a bunch of chemicals, because what goes in comes out. So all I'm saying is that they got the game covered now. And there are too many farmers out there right now. They're saving costs like a son of a gun on all their materials because they're not buying anything anymore. They say, the hell with that. My grandfather did it this way, and he grew more than I did. And then when we started making our soil sick with putting man-made chemicals in it, then we started running into problems. Now some farmers are bringing their soil back by following or mimicking Mother Nature. So they're bringing their soils back. And they're finding that they can now farm for less money by just following certain rules of nature. Okay, good people, this has been the Morning Garden Show. I'm going to take myself into another project. But I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Thank you very much. And I want you to have a good day. And remember to keep on growing. Thank you very much.